Hey, John here again. So I blew a brake line on the Mercury there, and it's a 1997. So I just wanted to make a quick video on repairing a brake line, because I'm not going to replace all the brake lines even though they need it. I'm just going to repair what's broken and cut out a section and use a union. Show you that. Use a union for that, and not. There's a couple of kinds. I wouldn't use these brass ones. I mean, you can see they got this compression sleeve there, a furrow, whatever you want to call it. It's just brass. These are brass. I mean, I guess you can use them, but I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it, just because. Let me show you the steel ones. The steel ones are more expensive. These are way cheaper, and I don't even know if it's legal to do this in my state, your state, whatever. I don't really give a shit. I mean, it's a 1997. These steel ones work way better. They're wicked expensive though. These are like $8 for this thing. So it's just a typical union, but the compression, I don't know if you call these a furrow or sleeve or whatever. It's steel, but you see how it looks compared to the brass ones are, they're completely different looking. But how these turn out when you crush them is, this is how it starts. It's sort of square, and it gets. When you crush it in there, it gets it like a cone effect, almost like a bubble, because when you put these together, they don't even really sit in there. It just starts. It's just tapered just a little bit, but you can see that it gets all crushed down, because this is like a cone in there. So it literally can't go anywhere. And these are way better than the brass ones. They won't let go. Trust me. I've done this probably about 4 times on this car. I just keep, whatever rots out, I just keep replacing it. It's just on the bottom by the rocker panels there. Everything else is pretty good, but I got to do it again. But I got a little story to go with that on why I'm doing it again, because I hit the goddamn brakes so hard. Let me go over the car and show you. I'll pop these in. I'll show how to do that, but let me show you something. Hey, Bodie. Bodie's a good boy, usually. Let me show you what Bodie did. Well, first of all, I put Bodie in a car a few months back, and he always likes getting in a car. I guess he figures if I'm going to go somewhere, he's going too. All right, stop. So stay, sit. He's a good boy. So, anyways, I put him in a car. And he was a little agitated. The windows got fogged up. This is about 20 minutes later. I go peek inside, and old Mr. Bodie, he had a hell of a time with well, they were leather suits, but so he tore that shit all up. There was foam everywhere. I just put a blanket over it and call it a fix, because, like I said, it's an older car. It's got 153,000 miles on it. Still runs like a top. It's good, but let me show you the reason why I finally figured out why Bodie went apeshit in there. So, you see that? Goddamn mooses again. Right? So, it's common if you keep a car outdoors, or, I'm in the woods here, so in the garage, but I gotta clean this up. This car's been sitting a while because I blew the brake line a while back, but, so anyways, I know why Bodie tore the seats up. So I'm going down a road, and this is after the seats were tore up. So I'm looking in the rear view, and you see that you see that seat belt where it goes in the hole there? So I catch that out of the corner of my eye. A goddamn mouse comes out of there. Of course, I think it's a Tyrannosaurus Rex, so I just completely fucking jam on the brakes, and that's why I blew my brake line. But that being said, it's just a mouse, but you had to be there. It scared the shit out of me. So anyways, That's probably what Bodie was trying to get. He loves chasing squirrels. That mouse is probably interrupting his, you know, leisure time laying around, and I guess he just wanted to get at it. So anyways, let me back this thing in here and splice that brake line in right quick. Alright, here's a couple of them unions here that I did a few years back as the brake line came around the corner here. These fuel lines are in great shape, but they were rusty here and they broke on this corner here, so I repaired that and you know, ran it all the way back. But here's where the new one broke, or the, you know, the you can see that wetness. That's just shitty there. So this is just a rubber piece to. There's another one, another union. I did that several years back. But this part of the brake line there is good, as you can see going over there. This is, so I'm going to replace both of these, going over the axle, coming out to the wheel, just because, you know, it's, I can repair it here, but it's just too shitty. So I just, that piece I showed you earlier, I broke it off of here, and it came off of this guy. Unfortunately, you can't reuse these, so that's why I gotta get, I was 1, 2, probably 4 connections. But it's a hell of a lot better than trying to run a line from, you know, your brake cylinder, master cylinder, all the way back continuous. It must be impossible. Not impossible, but surely a fucking pain in the ass. And to buy a roll of brake line, I don't know how much it is, probably 25 bucks or so. So I just got a couple sections of straight brake line. I'll bend it into place, marry it up, call it a day. Let me get started. So under the wheel well here, they don't look that bad. So I'm not going to mess around with, I mean, they're you know, they're not crusty. So I did find a spot under here, which I'm gonna light on that. Up in here, it snakes back around. So I'm thinking, you know, maybe I already cut it, but I think I just have enough to, you know, put a splice in there, because where that goes on top of that frame and comes around, I'll show you, it's pretty crusty. Yeah, see, this is an old union there. I just disconnected that, but see where it goes over there and back, sneaks behind there. Those are pretty crusty, and there's no way I'm going to make a repair up in there. So I just broke this line, or cut this line here, and I'll again, I'll cut it up there and get rid of that. So the new one I'll join to here, and I already removed the other one, so I'll join it here. So, oh shit, probably should have paid attention what goes to what brake. Yeah. I'll have to relocate that. So anyways, that's where I'm at. To get up over this pocket here, I mean, I don't understand. See these? They look immaculate, the fuel lines. Stainless, some kind of stainless. Why the fuck can't they make brakes out of that? Or a brake line? I mean, Jesus Christ. That whole fucking thing is 20-something years old. Look at this. Looks like brand new. You wipe it off. All these. They're fuel lines. For the life of me, why couldn't they do it at a brake line? I would think goddamn brake line is more important than a fuel line as far as safety goes. I don't give a shit about safety, but that is bullshit. You gotta repair brake lines, and here the fuel line is going to last for longer than a car. But anyways, that's where I'm at. So I think that's the best way to do it, is just go over the top there, and just don't have to mess with that in the future, because I like that. It's a little dark here, but so like I said, I just got enough line to pop it out, put them you know, put this union in here, tighten one side at a time, and then I could tuck it back in there and work on the other side. I just wanted to point out, you can use this tool here to cut the old line off, but to, you know, those furrows aren't going to fit over something that's like that. It's going to leave burrs. So you know, a pipe cutter, little mini pipe cutter, do the trick, nice and clean. So I'm going to do do this one, then this one here, you know, so that way I can feed them back through and work on the other side, because those you know, this union will probably be tucked up on top of the frame somewhere. I won't be able to get to it, so while I got it pulled back this way, I'll tighten everything up. Because like I said, these lines look pretty decent. I mean, I'm not going to get, you know, to take it off the caliper or even this junction here. I don't know how angry it's going to be. It looks pretty clean. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So beyond over this frame rail is where it's all rusty. So these look decent. So that's where I'm going to do it, because that's where I got the room. So let me do that. So I'm about down here. Look up under here. I don't know if you can see that. Where the hell am I? There's a couple of unions up there, tucked in there nicely. They should be fine. Then they cross over the rail. Where are we? Alright, so they come out up here, right? Snake down. There's one union there. Shoot! And all new brake lines. Where's the other union? There it is, right there. That's that. Alright, so it's time to bleed the brakes. Brake lines are all in. So this is a one-man show. I'll show you how to bleed it, one man. Fill the reservoir up. You know, you gotta make sure that show you underneath. This is what I do, because I don't have anybody else to help. So I hook up a I don't know if you can see that up there, hose. Now I would wait till it gravity bleeds, but I ain't got all the time. It was completely empty, so it's probably going to take a while to gravity bleed. I would like to see it gravity bleed, so then everything would be all right. But actually, I do see some fluid dripping out of there, so it is gravity bleeding a little bit. But it's got a lot of air in there, so what I do is take this hose, put it into a container, submerge the bottom of the hose there, and then when you step on the brake, keep stepping on the brake up, on and off, and it creates bubbles. I'll show you from underneath. But so anyways, I do see it is kind of gravity. I can see some bubbles going. So I just don't want to wait. So I'm going to expedite this by Alright, so let me push it on a brake here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but not yet. Still creating air bubbles. This is my second time through. Filled the reservoir up again. Make sure there's no air in the system. I think it's good to go right now because everything's gravity bleeding real nice. So, but I am gonna one-man bleed again just to be sure. So, all right, got it topped off. Everything seems like a go. So, let's go test drive it, huh? See if I can get 0 to 60 down the driveway. Puppy out long time, probably a year. Started right up. I'll take a first step.
can't help myself.
So, oh, let me show you, this is what I'm going to do next. Look at this bad mamma jamma. I got this thing in junk. So check this out. It's got a 20 horsepower twin in this piece of shit. I don't think that's stock. I think somebody put that in there to mow their lawn. But I'm going to make it a race mower. Yeah, why not? That ought to sound real good. Dual exhaust.